Hi everyone, today we're going to take a look at the best budget Am4 motherboard in the market for this year. First, we're going to show you our top 7 best picks, and we'll talk about what you should look for before buying a budget Am4 motherboard. You can find links to all of the products we've mentioned in this video down in the description below. Let's get started. At the first position of our list, we have ASRock B450 Steel Legend. The Steel Legend series from ASRock has always been one of the best mid-range motherboard options on the market for any chipset. This series strives to provide solid power delivery and adequate features without going overkill so that a good price-to-performance ratio can be established. The ASRock B450 Steel Legend is no exception, as it is probably the best value B450 board on the market under $100. In fact, the ASRock B450 Steel Legend can be regularly found near $90 on multiple retail sites, and that makes it an unbeatable value. The Steel Legend packs a solid VRM configuration that should be able to handle most Ryzen 5 and Ryzen 7 CPUs on the market without a problem. In fact, even a stock Ryzen 9 CPU should not be completely out of the ballpark for the B450 Steel Legend's power delivery system. It should, however, be the ideal pairing for an overclocked Ryzen 5 or Ryzen 7 at stock settings. Moving on to the next at number 2 with MSI B450 Bazooka Max Wi-Fi. MSI really nailed their B450 Arsenal gaming lineup with offerings like the legendary B450 Tomahawk and the B450 Mortar. The boards have certainly become quite popular among budget builders who want to maximize their price-to-performance ratio. Although the B450 Tomahawk is a great value, it is still above our $100 budget and retails for somewhere near $110 at most times. However, the B450 Bazooka is a micro ATX offering from the same line that does fall into our budget. The B450 Bazooka is also quite an impressive offering from MSI considering the price point. Our pick is the B450 Bazooka Max Wi-Fi variant, which can be picked up for around $90 at most retail sites. The Max branding means that it has support for a bigger BIOS ROM chip, and can therefore support microcodes for more CPUs in its memory. The addition of Wi-Fi is just a cherry on top. The number 3 position is held by Gigabyte B450DS3V2. If you are looking for a board that is even more affordable, say around $80, then the Gigabyte B450DS3V2 might just be the board for you. It is a slightly cut down version of the Aorus boards with a good feature set. This board would pair nicely with entry-level or mid-range builds with Ryzen 3 or Ryzen 5 CPUs. The VRM of the Gigabyte B450DS3V2 is nothing too special, although it is not bad for the price either. In this price category, this is probably one of the better power delivery systems that is well equipped to handle most Ryzen 3 and Ryzen 5 CPUs at stock settings. One might even try overclocking a Ryzen 5 CPU with acceptable results. Pairing Ryzen 7 or higher tier CPUs with this board does not make any sense, so one should avoid doing that. Next at number 4 we have Asus Prime B450A. The Prime lineup from Asus is targeting gamers on a budget, and it has some interesting offerings under $100. Our pick is the Asus Prime B450A, which is a micro ATX Am4 B450 motherboard that can be regularly seen selling for nearly $75 at major online retailers. This board does not have any extra bells and whistles so that it can target that extremely competitive price point. The power delivery system of the Asus Prime B450A is mediocre at best. It uses quite unimpressive components in the VRM and does not even offer any VRM heatsinks. Asus is relying on direct case airflow to passively cool the VRM components, which is not the best approach. This is one area where saving the extra money does not make a lot of sense. This board would be best paired with Ryzen 3 or Ryzen 5 CPUs at stock settings. The number 5 position is held by Gigabyte A520 Aorus Elite. Albeit it's a micro ATX, it has the main features like, of course, the A520 chipset, 2 dual-channel DDR4 RAM, 1 XEM, 2 PCIe 3.0 of NVMe SSD with 3 SATA HDD, and 1 full-size PCIe slot for your graphics card, and a Gigabyte 8118 gaming GBE LAN port, in the absence of a built-in Wi-Fi connection. But seeing all of these features, I can see the A520 Aorus Elite can be considered quite a bargain, especially in the price range of around $100-ish. It's a good motherboard if you want to look for your mid-sized gaming PC tower. The number 6 position is dominated by Gigabyte B550 Aorus Pro X. When you got a small room and need to save some space, getting an ATX motherboard might not be an option. Then, here comes the Mini ITX, which comes in a relatively small size. Hence, that's the reason why Gigabyte B450 Aorus Pro X. Designed in a monochromatic color with a distinctive Falcon logo on the SSD heatsink. Because it's a Mini ITX, the number of slots is basically lower compared to the standard ATX, but I can say you will be surprised what the Aorus Pro X has. The full armored dual-channel DDR4 for your RAM and the full metal Lunx PCIe X16 for your graphic card. Also, you will be surprised the Aorus Pro X has 2 slots of M.2 NVMe SSD cards below these heatsink covers. And what's more? It's the built-in Wi-Fi in exchange for the LAN port. Oh, don't forget the B450 slot for your processor as well. Sitting in a slightly below $200 price range makes the Aorus Pro X quite a bargain and can be considered the best Am4 motherboard if you are looking for a small form factor. Finally, the number 7 position is dominated by Asus TUF Gaming B550 Plus. Being an entry-level brand doesn't really mean it's not as good as the flagship. It's really a cool-looking motherboard, quite simple with a small detail that you will admire. Wrapped in a color of black-gray with a little yellow, the Asus TUF Gaming B550 Plus comes in a standard ATX form factor with useful features. What I'm talking about is the TUX full-size PCIe for your graphics card, and with the AMD two-way crossfires technology, you can house 2 types of graphics card without worry. For the RAM, you will get TUX dual-channel DDR4 RAM which can house up to 128GB power, TUX M.2 NVMe SSD with one of them is equipped with a heatsink as well as forged SATA HDD slot. I can say the Asus TUF Gaming offers a good motherboard for the AMD enthusiast, especially if you have a tight budget. That's all for today. We upload budget-friendly product review videos every single day. So, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon for the upcoming video notification.